That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Took a while too.
And welcome to the Rick and Morty recap podcast here on the So You Want to Be an Imagineer YouTube channel. That's right. We're talking season 4, episode 7, ProMortyUs. Guys, I actually have a little bit of a show and tell for us tonight. I'm going to go grab it really quick. I'm going to throw it over to Dragon and Jacob to let me know what they thought of the episode. So, Dragon, what do you think?
I really like this one. I really dug this episode, man. This is probably my favorite of the season so far. I mean, I really like the opening of this season. Don't get me wrong, I mean, there have been really great bits, like the second one, of course, the whole toilet story. That's fantastic. But, I mean, this as like an episode kind of in its kind of complete form, I got to tell you, I'm really blown away by ProMortyUs here. It was quite good. I really like this one.
I think this is definitely the most fun episode of this season so far.
Oh yeah.
It's not like the most serious or like the most thought provoking, but definitely the most fun.
That it is. It has like again. I like the smorgasbord approach to Rick and Morty. Get a little bit of everything. A little bit of the show, a little bit of the high concept idea of the episode, a little bit of everything, and again some next level storytelling in a sense. There's a lot of good stuff here. A lot of what I like about Rick and Morty was kind of encapsulated within the episode. Also in the comments, Inhuman Quake says hi there.
Hey there,
Inhuman
right Quake. How you doing? All right, guys, I'm back. I was in the grocery store today, and I saw it on a special display, and I don't know what to tell you. I just couldn't resist.
Well, I hope this is good, because you're eating up a lot of our mystery time right now.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure. Okay, let's see. Let me get full screened here really quick. Yeah, boy.
I'm feeling cramped.
Okay. Pickle Rick! I'm a total normie. It's Pickle Rick Pringles. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Guys, for your own amusement, I'm going to do a taste test. Taste test right here. Pickle Rick taste test.
Oh, God, like he's Brad Jones.
Yep. Yeah. Oh. And Brad Jones hates pickles, Dragon.
Oh, this is just... Does that mean he doesn't like Jeff Pickles?
I think it means he doesn't like dill pickles.
Well, no one likes dill pickles, but go on.
How about Tommy Pickles?
Ooh. Oh, man.
What do we got? Do we got a
like
Tommy,
a
a Jeff, or a dill there, Tiki? What do we got?
Yeah, I'm doing quick. It definitely has a pickle kick to it for sure. Mm.
A pickle kick.
All right, guys. I'm not going to have the whole podcast be.
I would hope so.
I approve of this, though. I approve of this.
Okay, we have an endorsement. Well, not reciprocated
like
endorsement, but we approve of something, and we'll make that clear.
It legitimately tastes pickles. I like it. I think I'm going to snap. I could see myself downing the whole can and like buying it again. 2 thumbs up. Pickle Rick.
All right, Tiki's trending.
I don't like pickles, so I wouldn't try that even to begin with.
I do like pickles. Jacob, do you remember at Disneyland when I bought that big ass dill pickle and just ate it by myself? Just like yum. That's like one of my go-to Disneyland snacks. Is just the big dill pickle.
Just while we're on the subject, can I make this a little bit more relevant as well? I do approve of the marketing that Rick and Morty's been doing with the Pringles and the Wendy's ads that they've been playing before the episode. It's been pretty fun.
It reminds me of like their Super Bowl ad that they did, like oh, we're in an ad.
Yeah.
Wait, do Rick and Morty have some sort of Wendy's product?
You didn't see the Wendy's commercial?
No. What do they have at Wendy's?
Well, I'm saying they've advertised Wendy's. I don't think they have a product.
Oh, they don't have a product. Okay, yeah,
I'm just saying
the commercial.
I mean, I don't know if they have something in Wendy's. I mean, if you want to go with the leap of like, well,
Oh my God, it'd be
Pringles,
amazing if they had like a pickle Rick burger with extra pickles or something.
Trust me, Tiki. I don't think I think they're trying to not milk the pickle Rick thing for all it's worth. But then again, Pringles,
Okay,
pickle Rick. I
the
don't know.
Pringles can begs to differ.
I know,
Dragon.
that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't have the answers. All right, I don't know.
All right. Claude Coringa says, "I know Rick and Morty is going to be excited for the Milan remake." Yeah. The Milan remake being pushed back means we did not get our Szechuan sauce. Anyways, Jacob, have you talked about your feelings on the episode yet?
I mean, I discussed it with Dragon. Like I said, it's not like the most serious episode of this season, or even like technically the most thought provoking of this season. But we pretty much agree it's definitely the most fun of this episode of the season so far.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very well thought out episode. I do think, to tell you the truth, guys, I think there is a little bit of an intellectual stimulation when it comes to this episode, if you will.
I mean, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying it's not like the most thought-provoking episode.
Yeah, sure. It's not like last week, where last week was just like, bam, we're just gonna throw you into a million different quantum theories and just like good luck, like explaining it all. This week, what's cool about it is that it's basically just like a non-linear story that's sort of a puzzle you want to piece together, and it's easy to piece together. It's not like
it's like a Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. It's basically a Christopher Nolan movie. Yeah, it's Christopher Nolan meets Aliens meets Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Okay, so of course, starting in the middle of the episode, that's a decent. It's a trope, but I feel like it's an effective trope. And it does work to great effect here with the face huggers. And might I just say, what do you guys think of the design of the face huggers?
Go on.
I mean, they're not bad. I mean, they're definitely a unique design to be sure. I mean, I like how they inherit their host voice and everything, which is pretty cool.
What's really neat is they actually modeled the shorthand. They always baffles me. They always go with the Rick and Morty pun within the episode title. But again, like their shorthand, this is the Starro episode. Of course, Starro, DC Comics idea. Starro, the first threat that the Justice League went up against, and the big thing with Starro, these starfish kind of adhere to people's faces and control them. So it's very.
I knew you were going to bring up Starro Dragon.
I swear to you, had they not the little insider thing, they coined the Starro thing. I wouldn't have brought it up unless. Unless they did it first, okay? Point being, the Starro thing, quite cool. And again, it's kind of Starro meets the face hugger. Quite an interesting pull, kind of a grosser version of the face hugger, but again, has like the cool kind of mouth built in with the voice, as Jacob's saying. Really, really kind of fun idea. And speaking to, I love the non-linear approach to the episode. We get our spectacle in Act 1. We get our kind of the sympathy built in with.
Okay, can I just say, like, I love the moment where Morty just full on goes all Star Wars. It's like, oh, this is like Star Wars, and then he like drops down into like,
give it a yeehaw.
Yeah, I'll do.
That's good enough.
Guys, I gotta say, I'm sorry, but I think the moment that really got me in the episode, and I think one of the most tasteful jokes in the whole episode, was the 9/11 joke.
I laughed
I gotta
so
say.
hard at that 9/11 joke.
Like we're above that, but we're not above Pearl Harbor.
I know, that was just perfect. I think again, this was my favorite episode in the season so far, man. Like jokes like the humor in this was so on point, and you had the spectacle, you had the humor, and again, you had like the non-linear storytelling. We were just kind of shifting things around. We retroactively built sympathy for these guys who we just kind of relished in destroying them, and now we're just like, oh god, now you feel really bad about it when we get to the third act, which is basically covering the whole lack of moral within the thing. It's quite genius storytelling.
Yeah, basically this episode kind of uncovers like what would happen if they went back to a bunch of people they screwed over.
Exactly, and again, I love there's so many great logistical things in this episode.
We don't do sequels, Morty.
Precisely.
Except interdimensional cable 2.
But it's just genius. It's a logical reason why don't we do sequels? Because one, they're tacky as far as the Rick and Morty guys are concerned. We don't retread everything. We don't want to sequelize everything. But again, plot wise, how can you come back to a place you just blew up and everything? And that it was like kind of a riotous adventure through. You think they're going back to the Jelly Bean King's land? I don't think so.
Oh boy! Oh, I'd love to see a return of the Jelly Bean King. Oh
That's what
boy!
I'm saying. It's
I don't think Morty wants to see that though.
Did you guys know that? Did I ever tell you guys that was the first episode of Rick and Morty I ever saw? Was the Jelly Bean
I
King?
did not
I think
know
the first
that.
one I saw was either I think outside of the first episode, I think the first one I saw was Lawnmower Dog.
Wait, the Jelly Bean King was in the Meeseeks episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
so the
so. At
Meeseeks
least I
episode
think
was
so.
the first one I saw.
I
That
think
was a good one to start with.
Like I said, I got aware of this show through Lawnmower Dog.
Uh-huh.
Real pilot.
All right. So let's see. We got in the comments here. Inhuman Quake is with you, Dragon. That Starro needs the live action treatment.
I know. Tell me about it, man.
I really think he
I've
should
been
have
pitching
been
a Justice League
villain. Yeah,
I've been pitching a Justice League movie where Starro was the bad guy for so many years, but it doesn't matter. It's just...
Claude says it won't be long until they make a reference to Solar Opposites. Either of you watched Solar Opposites yet?
I watched the first episode.
Okay. Well, one of you is gonna have to watch it with me because we need to do a podcast on it.
I mean, Tiki, if you really like, I think I might be willing to watch it. So the first episode, it was interesting. I'll say that much. First episode was interesting.
Okay. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm willing to give it a watch just because Claude seems like he's really enthusiastic about it, and Claude's one of our best commenters, and we like to give back to the people that watch us, right, Dragon?
That we do. That we do.
I'm totally pointing you into a corner right now. Right. Anyways. Okay, so let's see. A Rick and Morty version of The Mandalorian should happen. That'd be pretty interesting.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Something funny. They've reconfigured their companion podcast on Rick and Morty. Is now a little bit more of a live thing. You can actually call in and submit your questions. But I got to tell you, man, they're really snarky about some of the questions. I don't even put it on them. I put it more like a lot of people calling are not the brightest bulbs in the box. If you catch my meaning, a lot of really odd, a lot of crossovery questions. A lot of the same question. A lot of I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the way it comes across. It's not. It seems like a bad idea. Like people calling in the questions, which ordinarily I'm all for. In this case, like man, I never thought of it going south like that.
And let's also pretending podcasts aren't boring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God. And of course, you guys know the meta quality of the podcasts aren't boring thing, right?
Well, I mean, the fact they have a podcast, right? That's kind of the.
Yes, but Dan Harmon specifically also had a podcast. Keyword had.
Yeah, Harmontown being the long running kind of thing.
What about Harmon Quest?
I don't know about Harmon Quest, but Harmontown. Did you guys know that Harmontown? He just recently actually canceled Harmontown.
I heard about it because I watched that documentary on Harmontown about him doing the podcast.
Yeah,
I heard like when I was looking into it outside of that because I believe it was dated to like 2013 or 2014. And I looked into it. So yeah, it's ending. It was kind of I forget that's the reason I checked it out in the first place. No, it was like a whole thing.
So my theory is that I think that Harmontown, was the basis for the whole, podcasts are boring thing, because I really do think that he did get, Dan Harmon did really just get bored with podcasting in general, or at least having a solo podcast of his, just the way that Harmontown was structured. Okay, anyways, let's see some people in the comments here. Rick and Morty needs a movie. 6 seasons in a movie in Human Quake. 6 seasons in a movie. All right, Cloud Kringa, Rick and Morty and Futurama getting a crossover. That would be interesting. They crossed over with The Simpsons. Yes. Did you guys have seen the Rick and Morty Simpsons crossover?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Well,
it's amazing, Dragon. It's amazing.
It was more of a couch gag.
That's what I'm saying. I heard it was a couch
gag. Yeah.
Is it more than a couch gag, or is it just like a fun little...
It's basically an extended couch gag where
it's like a 3-minute long couch gag.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Basically, where Rick and Morty, basically they pop out of nowhere, accidentally kill the Simpsons, and reconstitute them.
Oh my God, Morty! We killed the Simpsons.
Yeah, it's basically better than the episode that it's attached to.
I believe that.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I have no doubt. Quick, Morty! Look at the baby one. All that Simpsons goo, Morty. And also, Rick and Morty Broadway musical. I'm all down for it. I'm totally down for it. Let's see. You'd have the Goodbye Mr. Moonman song. You'd have the Get Swifty, Tiny Rick. You'd have some potential there. Some potential.
All
Anyways,
right, so more about the episode.
yeah, more about the episode. Sorry.
Let's see. So let's talk about let's talk about the greatness himself here. Let's talk about the Glorzo.
Gorzo is peace.
Yes, it is, man. We should spread this word. Okay, so Glorzo, essentially, this is kind of like our symbiotic kind of face hugger parasite race. They're the touting piece, whether they're genuine about that or not. Here's my read on. My read on is that basically we initially have a very simplistic kind of life cycle approach with these guys, as kind of Rick and everyone says. Basically they face hug and they kind of give birth through crapping out an egg,
and they die.
And then of course basically the cycle keeps going because again basically people find the eggs, rinse and repeat, and then summer comes along here, which we'll touch on that momentarily. But summer comes along, I think we break that cycle. Now we're instituting peace via symbiosis here, peace via kind of going the kind of symbiotic route here, where essentially we don't destroy ourselves anymore. We bring peace by basically everyone being unified because we want to turn everyone into a face hugger. And that's my read on it. I think I hope that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really, it's just kind of breaking down the whole, like who really is evil dragon, right? That's really the base of the episode.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I mean, it's like I think they're convinced this is peace. That hey, we're not destroying ourselves, so that's kind of peaceful, and everyone would not fight anything, right? But you're right, though. It is like, what is peace?
Right. It's kind of like, it's the same sort of thing with the Meeseeks. It kind of reminded me of, how the Meeseeks live with, with the way that they just like shit out the eggs 30 minutes into their lifespan, and that's how they die.
I love that's their greatest generation. 30 minutes. That's great.
Right. That reminded me of the Meeseeks, where like a couple days into a Meeseek's existence, and they're just like absolutely they just can't stand to be alive. They just need to die. So it kind of plays into that whole thing too. Just sort of like, what is like, who are we to call these species, relevant or sentient or whatever, who are we to mess with the ecosystem?
And of course, it makes it really, the more you think about this, the Glorzos, the more you think about them, it's the more when we had that awesome kind of Star Warsian kind of like, like laying waste to the planet scene, you remember, these are just people who've been taken over by alien entities, and basically we just murdered a whole lot of people. Basically, people...
Contract workers, Dragon. Contract workers.
Yes, one could say the contract workers. Yeah, but essentially, anyone crash landed on the planet, like Rick and Morty, goners, dead. No more. That is not a living person anymore. They're dead.
Keep in mind, Rick and Morty only got out of this because of a complete accident.
I just love the random, like it was an eventual accident, I guess. It was basically if like one thing kind of like loosens the tentacle, then anyone could be free. But still, it's the random, this cosmic incident of like everything just freezing. And of course, after we learn all the sordid, after we get the Cape story being everything kind of that Summer went through and everything, after the whole space oddity-esque montage, it reminds you so much of that. Tiki, you've seen this movie. It reminds me so much of the only good part of the movie I've seen, the Valerian, the opening of Valerian when they're playing Space Oddity.
Yeah, for sure. It's totally like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually took inspiration from that.
There's that opening to that movie is fantastic.
The rest of it is shit, but the opening is fantastic.
Well, no, because I haven't watched it, but I did see the first 5 minutes.
Dane DeHaan, man, I like Dane DeHaan in general, but that kid has not picked good roles since Chronicle.
Yeah, good fool.
Or Dragon, one could say, the arrogance of youth.
Yeah, the arrogance of youth.
Really quick with Claude, he says there should be an episode of Rick and Morty where the characters become live-action versions of themselves.
But yeah, that'd be basically two Justin Roilands talking.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'd be Justin Roiland talking to himself.
Maybe, but Tiki, I've sent this to you. I know you haven't watched it yet, but again, I've seen Rick and Morty in live action done pretty good.
Oh, I've seen it. I watched it. I watched it since then.
I'm just saying that is if they like decide to do like what they do it with the. Love it, like who does their voices.
Well, sure.
They did do that in Gravity Falls for like a brief joke.
I remember Chowder had a really good gag where they did something like they were basically the show ran out. There's this hilarious moment in the Chowder series where they ran out of money, so they put on a car wash, and it's the voice actors running the car wash to get money.
Can I just get on my soapbox here? I know we're getting off topic, but Chowder is incredibly underrated.
It is. That it is.
Just ridiculously underrated.
Wasn't
That
always
show
batting
is
1,000,
gold.
but it was quite good. And quite the effort that went into it was something really impressive. Okay, anyways.
All right, anyways. Sorry.
Let's see.
There was some anime influence in this episode, Claude, with the
looking at it.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying the whole episode was anime, but
I love me a good suit up. I really do.
And a lot of there's a lot of episodes that have like anime influences.
Okay, I love this suggestion from Inhuman Quake that they should cross over with regular Cartoon Network. I think specifically, like, what if they did a crossover with just 90s Cartoon Network? Just the classics, like Dexter and the Powerpuff Girls. And
well, again, Tiki, you kind of got a glimpse of that.
Wait, what if they cross over with Samurai Jack?
Oh God!
Oh my God, that would be that would be wrong. Let's be honest, that'd be wrong.
And
it would be awesome. Like I'm just
almost tempting enough for me to want to go for it, but
basically because I'm just bringing that because of the April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
But I can totally see it happening with the whole portal thing going on here.
Right.
All right, but guys, seriously, I don't know. This episode is just really. I gotta say, I don't think I'd rank it above episode 6, just because I feel like episode 6 really, for me, was just goddamn firing on all cylinders, just because of like the whole the series finale of it all, and just having the pace of the episode keep on changing, and kind of like it being a Rubik's Cube. This one it's a little bit more straightforward. I do like it a lot. It did make me laugh quite a bit. I just feel like episode 6 was just like really, really, top form. This is like a solid B+, episode, I would say, for me.
I can definitely say that so far, the second half of the season is shaping up to be a lot better than the first one.
Definitely. I would say the second half of the season so far is probably the most consistent.
Don't get me wrong. The first had definitely had its standout moments, like especially Old Man and the Seed and some of the endings. Like as far as overall consistent quality, I'd say this is far and above better than the first half.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I'd echo once again that I think that it's pretty much better than most of the season 3 episodes as well, if I'm being completely honest with you.
It's not so obsessed with its own darkness, basically.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we're talking about an episode that alleviates a 9/11 joke for a Pearl Harbor joke, and has just mass carnage, so it's not afraid to go dark, but I don't know, it's not like Pickle Rick where it's just like, blood, gore, carnage everywhere for no particular reason.
Well, I could definitely get into this one a little bit more than 6. 6 was great, but still, I mean, again, 6, a little ambitious, let's be honest with the story. But
that's what I liked about 6, though. I don't know.
It was good, though. I'm just saying we have two really...
They're both,
I think they're
so
both really,
really fantastic.
I think is what we're on the same page with.
Yeah.
The second half, but this one I feel is a little more for the average Joe, perhaps, maybe. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so a few moments of this episode's full of so many great little bits. I mean, of course, I think the humor is really on point. Like Morty, I love when Morty is chewing out the scientist who built the giant, basically the thing's going to terraform the galaxy with basically spread the facehuggers. And
Gorzo.
Sorry, what?
Said Hail Gorzo.
Yes, Hail Glorzo. Yes, and the whole Glorzo thing, I love the science saying, well, you couldn't have. We just finished this. You couldn't have told us this before we finished it.
That seemed like a Curb Your Enthusiasm type of moment right there.
Yes, I know, and I love it. I love me some Curb humor. I really do. What I loved more so is just Morty just chewing them out by just. just saying, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I made you do a day's work. It seems like you were so busy doing other things. I love when Morty gets really standoffish with people.
Well, I mean, it's amazing how far they progressed in society, considering they previously only lived for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Oh
You only live 30 minutes, and now all this, it's like it's the least you can do. And I love kind of almost like it's like the rare Tom and Jerry moments when Tom and Jerry kind of got along briefly, and I love we kind of had that Rick and Morty having a moment together. Like, hey, just open up to me a little bit more. Be inside your head. It's not a bad place to be. And that sort of like, when they're getting buddy fighting and
It's not
blowing
a
up things.
bad place to be.
I think all that is being really friendly with
God.
each other, the yeehaw shenanigans of it all. And of course, then
Right.
what's even better, we get our cake and eat it too. We then go back and make it a really dark, and we realize, oh, they're bonding over killing a whole bunch of people.
Okay, guys. Speaking of Rick and Morty bonding, we would be remiss if we didn't bring up this.
I was about to mention that actually before Claude brought it up.
Yeah, I was circling around it earlier. So this is funny. This is actually
Dragon, I got to admit,
Funny.
I am surprised that you like this episode as much as you do, based solely on this joke alone.
Yeah, but keep in mind it's not technically Rick and Morty themselves, just like
No, you're right, but it's still like Justin Roiland's voice.
voice. Yeah, it's like
here's what's funny about it. It takes me back to the pilot, where not the first episode of the series, but like the pilot got him through the door, where essentially it was
Doc and Marty.
The Doc and Marty thing.
Yeah.
That one was more sick and wrong, but
you gotta suck my balls, Marty.
That's what I'm saying. This very much feels like them kind of finding a way to work that into the show. It's like it's still not great, but again, there is kind of the proviso. Well, it's not them, and they're alien face huggers, so it's their voices, which is sick and wrong. But again, it's Steve and Bruce, not Rick and Morty. So.
I mean, I thought it was. I was like, "What the?" I mean, I was laughing at it, but I was still like, "What the hell?"
That's what I'm saying. Sick and wrong, but still, it's not. It's like on the line, but not beyond the line. It's like it's sick, but maybe not wrong. It's something.
Here's what I liked about it, though. I really appreciated the fact that it really went out of its way to show the hard sci-fi of it all. The fact that these two face huggers have, for better or for worse, no matter if it is sick and wrong, they do have an intimate relationship with each other on top of just being attached to Rick and Morty. And it's just the fact that Rick and Morty have been in the face hugger state for so long that their face huggers have developed a bond towards each other.
Yeah.
It's heady, man. It's heady.
It
That's
is.
what I'm saying. That's what
again,
I like.
the link up is perfect. So once we get to the emotional crux of that relationship, let's get out of here. Let's have a family. They're grabbing some legs and balls. And of course,
oh my God, I love it.
And of course, just one little he gets knocked on by a little stalagmite thing, and then and again the thing we were just kind of laughing like, what we just dropped into, and okay, now you know what you're dropped into. It's horrific.
Actually, it's a stalactite.
Fine, stalactite. Yes, stalactite. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, Dean Human Quake, that does speak to a good point. He enjoys watching it twice. Yeah, it is a great episode to rewatch, I think.
Yes. Also, here's something that initially I was really against this gag, but then it won me over very instantly with how genius it was. Summer's toothpick. So just to talk about Summer overall here for a second, I love this realization. This is the mark of the episode. We already had a real satisfying kind of act one. Okay, action, splendor. What do you know? And bonding. Okay.
She was sleepy? What the fuck, Morty?
They're going home. They're having some pancakes. They're putting Jerry in his place. I mean, I love how they.
Oh my God, Jerry and the bee. Okay, Dragon, we're gonna do the Jerry test. Okay, all right, the Jerry test. Jerry and the bees, yay or nay?
Because of the way it was handled in this episode, yay. Okay.
All right. Yeah, you see, sometimes Jerry can be written well.
However, I want to make it clear, it's not specifically because of Jerry, though. It's everyone's response to Jerry. It's I just love Jerry says, "Hey, I'm beekeeping now," which I'm just I don't really have a feeling about it because they responded so perfectly. They gave him the silent shutdown, which I love so much. It's like they just didn't respond, and it's leaves him thinking of just analyze his own kind of stupidity. I'm like, it's just I can have a hobby too, I can just that's why I like it, not because it's basically, hey, Jerry's beekeeping, good for him. It's yes, they shut him down. There's not even paying him any mind.
Really quick, Claude does have a good point that I didn't even think of, that the kiss moment was in fact foreshadowed last episode, because we got that really weird moment at the end of last episode, come on, Morty, kiss your grandpa.
You're right, it was foreshadowed. You're not wrong.
That was an amazing coincidence.
Let's see. Okay, so Summer, I just love the fact that after all of that, they're just having breakfast. And again, I'll give Jerry points here. He's making his own honey, and so far we didn't do any of the tropes where, Jerry's going to be swarmed by bees, and it's going to give me nightmares, but we didn't do that, thankfully.
And beekeeping's hard, keep in mind. Beekeeping's hard.
It is. That's what I'm
I
saying. So
honestly respect Jerry for the beekeeping. I
if
gotta
he can
say,
keep
this
it up like this, I'll respect. If they don't do a whole like standard thing, if Jerry's swarmed by bees, if we don't do that, I'm going to respect it. Okay, if they don't do that, I'm going to respect it by the end of the season.
I feel like it's a good avenue for Jerry. I really do.
If he's good at it, I'll give Jerry points on that one. I will absolutely. If he's good at it.
Yeah,
It turns into like a whole stupid venture as he tends to do. Then like, okay, well now I'm done.
and they end up forgetting Summer.
Okay, so that's the thing. So it's just hysterical. It's like this realization that, oh crap, we forgot Summer. I just love it. And it makes sense when you think, because initially I'm thinking, wait, why are they bringing up Summer? Like, oh, wait a minute, they just woke up in the middle of the episode. They don't know the realization that, oh god, we must have taken Summer along with us, and this is news to us, and we got to go back, which is kind of heresy, but we got to do it.
It's like she was sleepy.
Sleepy.
I was like shitting in the bed is like not like I don't know how it goes. Like, just
All right, so then we
not
have like
shitting the bed isn't better than shitting. No, shitting the bed isn't better than not shitting the bed, Morty.
God, definitely a runner with that one through the episode, given where it ends.
Oh boy.
All right, let's see. So again, the toothpick thing is just hysterical. This whole thing where she's toothpicks are my thing now. It just sounds stupid, but until we have the facehuggers. Again, this is genius. Facehuggers, they're attacking, but when they attack Summer, because she has that toothpick, impaled and dead.
Boop.
She's safe. Just love it. It's genius.
Somehow she ended up being the smart one in that situation.
I know. It's great.
Like, because Rick and Morty just had to check out the wet eggs. Like they're
Wet
really
eggs.
they're really wet.
Yeah.
It's like you think Rick of all people be weary about those kinds of eggs.
Yeah, I think it's like the old Ridley Scott rule of thumb. Eggs, man, you got to check out the eggs, especially if they're wet eggs.
Yeah, I mean, that exact scenario happens in Prometheus. I mean, that is a big Prometheus pool right there.
Oh yeah.
But you think Rick of all people would be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go near those eggs, Morty.
I like the weakness to the Glorzos here. I like that, with the symbiotic thing. Might be a Spider-Man pool, where the harmonica is their kryptonite, where essentially it's like the sonics to the symbiote, sound waves are its weakness. Harmonica, or harmonic vibrations, if you will, are the weakness, and it blows them up, makes them want to, kind of like lay their eggs and blow up.
Basically, their entire society is destroyed by harmonica.
Yep. They really don't like the harmonica. And of course, I love the apology and the realization of the lack of moral as we get into the end of that within the third act of why are we doing this? You're the bad guys. What gave you that impression? We literally said we wanted peace. And again, gray area. They want peace by attaching face huggers against everybody's will. So little column A, little column B, but still. Universally,
they want to do that, but at the same time, we got to see, that they're not just in it to dominate. They genuinely do have good intentions.
I know, that's the thing.
Foreign to us.
Yeah, I mean, Summer turned around on I still think Summer turned around onto the peace. That's what I'm saying. But still, yeah.
I mean,
all right. So I really liked how Summer tried to get them executed via the car.
Oh no! Don't put us in the car! No.
I totally hate going to the car. That's terrible.
I love the duct tape gag. I love when they're calling out the logic. Why isn't your face moving? Why isn't your mouth moving on your little on your face hugger?
Why haven't you blinked in 20 minutes?
That's what I'm saying. That's great. Just calling them out on that, and then the duct tape failed. Maybe they were going to fall for it the first time, but then of course it falls the second. That okay, there's no way we're going for this now. Let's see.
They're like, oh fuck it, let's run.
Yep.
So then you just need to know. Sometimes just we need to know when to drop everything and run.
Yep. Let's see. I guess we should talk about the ending then, right?
Yeah, the ending where it's let's just say that it's a real shitty ending.
I call it the Dexter's Lab ending. There's this episode of Dexter's Lab where Dexter thinks that he's going to blow up because he basically ate too much of this giant burrito.
Oh God!
And I'm not making this up. Seriously, the episode of Dexter's Lab where he ate this burrito. And I fear it was some sort of too much of a certain ingredient thing. The point being, he thought he was going to blow up. He only had 24 hours to live or something. Anyway, and of course, the episode ends with a different sort of bowel movement, but essentially it's the same premise here, where he's kind of making the dying declaration to the family, and then
by the way,
dead.
hold on. I really okay. We got to address Rick just being so melodramatic. Like,
I know.
your son is going to die.
I love that so much, and I love the season
Say
4.
your last words.
It's so funny. This season 4 so far, the theme seems to be flirting with the. Even though Rick and Morty's been approved for God knows how many seasons. I mean, at least like
Yeah, for sure. Let's face it. Rick and Morty is the biggest cash cow that Adult Swim has ever had. They're going to go as long as they possibly can.
And this is what's genius about it. I love the fact that knowing way in advance it's been approved for God knows all those seasons. And season 4, from the first episode to this point, maybe not through every episode, but at least at this point a number of times, keeps flirting with the end of Rick and Morty. So look at last episode. With like all the potential endings and the giant army and all that sort of stuff. You know, the first episode where Rick is constantly dying and Morty's like flirting with like his last moments with Jessica. And hey, look at this. Where again this is how we're gonna die, isn't it? Like they're holding hands, like they're about to go out there, like, oh, we're doomed, we're dead, and then really just one bowel movement later, they're okay. It was just gas. Huzzah! And this air tastes worse than gas.
They shat on the floor.
I guess I just really needed to shit.
Yep.
Talk about a shitty ending.
Yep. I love that, by the way, in the backyard, because I think people want to talk about this. Claudie, what's about the post-credit gag with Jerry here? I love that the graves of the first Rick and Morty are still in the backyard, by the way. I love that they're still there.
Oh my god, yeah, that's great. That's great attention to detail there.
I mean, maybe these is hinting at the fact that maybe these Rick and Mortys can eventually die too, and we'll see another one down the line.
Again, they only have so many times they can do that, but it's a fair point until the universe hop again. They've already done it at least 3 times.
And Human Quake says 70 episodes they ordered. That's 7 seasons. Jesus Christ.
I thought they plan on like bringing the total to over 100 episodes.
Probably, I don't put it past them that they're going to get to that easily. I mean, honestly, they probably. So it's specifically about how do you feel about the Summer's friend really wants to get on with Jerry? Like,
remember, she's been in a couple episodes. Like, she's a freak.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, she's like the kinky girl, man. That's her character. So I like that it's so innocent, but at the same time, it's like if she got her hands on Jerry, she would like do things to that man.
You know what my takeaway was is I forgot about that whole thing. Like she was kind of established as that character. I was kind of read as a random. I just realized.
Yeah, I forgot.
I thought it was like Chicks Dig Beekeeping. That's what I thought it was. Chicks Dig Beekeeping.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too. Yeah. Like I said, I completely forgot about her.
Yep. Isn't she also Jessica's friend? Because that's what I'm thinking of right now with the promiscuous friend, but then again, Summer's friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was introduced as Jessica's friend, yeah.
She was into the, she was into some stuff I don't want to
repeat. I'm not going to entertain the notion of Johnny Test and Rick and Morty, with all due respect.
Are you really that against Johnny Test, or is it just like...
I'm not totally against Johnny Test, but look, if we're going to do a crossover, let's
You're right, I mean, it's never a crossover,
right?
I want to make sure, because for some reason, some people really have an irrational hatred of Johnny Test.
I don't hate Johnny Test.
I know you don't.
I feel like Johnny Test kind of veers into the whole, like, aggressively mediocre thing that I don't like, Dragon.
Say aggressively mediocre.
Mediocre. The whips really bother me. I don't know.
Really,
anyways,
not really a problem in the first season though.
No, you're right. It gets worse as it goes on, Jacob. You're right. But it gets bad. Okay. Guys, anything we haven't mentioned in the comments that you want us to talk about? I think we've run the gambit on this.
I'm assuming like Bob's Burgers and Rick and Morty. It's about it's basically getting more crossover requests. It seems.
I mean, Bob's Burgers crossed over with Archer.
Well, to be fair, they had a huge thing in common on that one.
Well, yeah, I know, like a couple of voice actors, especially H. John Benjamin.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, what about Bob's Burgers crossed over with Home Movies? Coach McGurk? Huh? Coach McGurk and Bob?
Yeah, you've lost my business, sir. I don't.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. What do you have against home movies?
I don't know. It just seems like not a good
John
combination.
Benjamin as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Styles are too different. I don't know.
I don't know. I love movies.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
I'm sure
I'm not
probably
knocking home movies. I'm just saying I don't think the combinations.
it probably doesn't hold up. I haven't watched it in forever, but
Anyway.
all right. Anyways, when is Bob's Burgers movie coming out? I do not know in Human Quake, but I'm excited for that because as far as I know, it's a full-blown musical, right?
I think it's still coming out.
So,
unless what's going on affects the release date.
I think the smart answer is not as soon as it should by now. I think that's kind of the smart answer.
It's still planned for coming out this year, as far as I know. I mean, hopefully I won't need to be caught up on the entire series to watch the movie.
I don't think you would be. I really don't think so. I don't think Bob's Burgers is the kind of show that keeps a long continuity. Popeye is back on track in Human Quake, really?
I wonder if Tartakovsky's still doing it.
Yeah, because that's news to me. I mean, even if Tartakovsky's not doing it, I love Popeye just as a character. So
I think he's doing 3 movies. I thought he was working on 3 movies there, like a couple of them adult versions too. Not to mention Primal's also on Adult Swim as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Primal.
I keep meaning to check that out.
Yeah, me too. All right, he is on board. Yeah,
hey!
Interesting.
Well,
are you guys going to talk about the Scoob movie? Claude, are we gonna talk about the Scoob movie? Of course, we're gonna talk about the Scoob movie.
I might have a problem.
I'll check that out myself.
Yeah,
you might have a problem with that.
Tiki, it's not that
I'm just saying I'm going to check it out.
I'm sure.
Okay, well, regardless, a combination of people will be podcasting about it.
I mean, fingers crossed I'll be there too, but see, your point being it will be covered, so don't worry about it, Claude. It's going to be covered.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Claude wants... Go ahead, Jacob.
I mean, I'll be more than happy to watch Scoob.
Yeah, we get it. All right. So, Claude says, how do you guys feel about the Pornhub joke?
Oh yeah, it's I like that Rick was won over on the argument about the Pornhub account thing. Okay, sold. That was really
funny. All right. Jesus Christ, sold.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's all I got to add, honestly.
Yeah. On the studio apartment gag, I guess was kind of funny too. Just Rick, any hope. I just love the more hope that's kind of drained from him. They're maybe it means they come for money or something. Maybe it means to do something on the side. Rick, I've seen enough of it to know studio apartment means it's not good in the cards for you.
Oh, and I also love the bit where Summer's like Morty, your bit is masturbating, and Morty's like, well, yeah, but I own that bit. I'm a 14-year-old boy. That's what 14-year-old boys do, Summer.
And then she tries to get it on, and it just makes it weird.
Oh God. All right, guys. I think we've pretty much run the gambit. This has gone on for longer than I thought it would. So, good job to the commenters for keeping us engaged. Let's see. We've got Claude Karinga in Human Quake. You guys are awesome, and I don't say this enough, but I should say it every show. You guys are the reason we do this. Honestly. If we didn't have commenters and if we didn't have people following along, I'd be much less motivated to do this every week. So
I can guarantee it. He would be less motivated, folks.
So thank you guys so much for that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dragon.
All
right. Any final thoughts on this episode, gentlemen?
I loved it. My favorite so far of the season. Let's see if it keeps up. We're on a really good track right now. Second half. Let's see if we can keep it up. Let's keep it going.
Yep, that's it. Most fun episode so far. I mean, hopefully they can keep up this momentum.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we will be back probably next Monday for Rick and Morty. And I will say, unless anything drastic changes, I think maybe Solar Opposites in the next week or so. I'll say that. I want to get to it for sure.
Well, I mean, at the very least, I mean, if we might be sooner than later, but maybe after Rick and Morty is done, if we need like a little for Rick and Morty. But you're right. Point being, we'll be covered. So, yeah.
All right. Well, he's been asking about it, so I don't want to keep him waiting.
Oh,
on the episodes are there. So.
Ignore me, folks. I think he's got a valid point there. So we'll see when I have no idea when it comes out. Point being, probably sooner rather than later. Okay.
Human Quake been listening to season 1 of DuckTales. That's, you know what? That's really nice when I get comments about like I've been listening since blank. Like that's no, that makes me feel nice that you've been listening since that long. All right. Good note to end out on. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. See you all next week. Let's see. The scheduled on the docket this week. We got the grab bag tomorrow. We've got a new Batcave being uploaded on Wednesday. We're going to be doing something special. We're going to be doing an introduction of a special thing that we're doing in May later on this week. And then also I'm sorry, not the shorts. I was going to say the short circuit.
No,
I'm sorry. Prop culture. Yeah. Prop culture. We're doing a podcast on prop culture this week. So big filled out week. A lot of stuff going on. The So You Want to Be an Imagineer game is still going on. We'll be covering the weekly challenge number 3. A lot of stuff to look forward to. You guys are awesome. See y'all later. Have a good night.
Later. And not pretend podcasting is boring.